Chrissy, you've still got Elizabeth to think about.
Keep me hopes up, you mean? Just to give them the satisfaction of saying I can't have her? Oh, the bastards. I'll show them.
Your word doesn't mean anything to these women anymore, Mrs. Davidson.
Perhaps because I have been coerced into breaking it so often, Mrs. Parole.
We don't want to be forced into a strike. But unless you make a decision by tomorrow morning, giving us the extra protection we want, you leave us no choice.
All's quiet down here. How are things at your end?
Same.
Then why are you looking so worried?
It's the quiet. I think I'd rather have the noise. Any noise.
You worry too much. You're just settling down for the night.
Well, usually there's a lot of chatter around this time, but listen.
Don't let it get to you. They're probably beginning to realise that their tactics aren't working, that's all.
Maybe you're right.
How do you think the union demands will go?
Oh, well, they'll have to be met, Jim. It's not an idle threat. There will be a strike if something isn't done. I gather you still think we're wrong.
Well, I just think us carrying batons and the extra staff will make things worse. It could be the very thing to make things blow up.
Yeah, but no one can work efficiently under the present conditions. Something has to be done, and soon.
Well, nothing we can do. We just have to wait for Mrs. Davison to make up her mind.
Well, let's hope she makes the right decision.
No, you're right. It is eerie.
Perhaps they are just settling down for the night, like you said.
Yeah, we better finish our rounds.
Settle down!
All right, quiet!
Stop that noise! Where's the complaint?
Keep the noise down. Cut that noise. Come on.
What are they up to now? They should have let us out of here 10 minutes ago.
They'll be here soon.
Yeah, well, I don't like it. What if they are on strike? We could be in here forever. God, Lizzie, what's up with you? Don't you care?
I just don't want any trouble. I'm too old for all this sort of thing.
Too old to fight for your rights? I've never seen you like this before.
But this is different. The feeling in here is full of hate. It's as though everyone was waiting for something to happen, and when it does, it's going to be something real bad.
Yeah, well, they've backed us into a corner, and the only way we can survive is to fight any way we know how. Now, you know that?
Yeah, but there's going to be trouble. Real trouble, and I don't want any part of it, so leave me alone.
Come on, ladies.
I was beginning to think you'd forgotten we were here.
Well, that's hardly likely after last night, Bryant.
What's going on? Where is everybody?
You're not all showering at the same time this morning, Smith. We can keep an eye on you better this way. We've had enough trouble.
And we don't want any more. Do you understand? Where's Birdsworth?
Oh, come on, Birdsworth, move. We're not going to wait around all day for you.
As soon as you're showered, Birdsworth, go to the kitchen. The rest of you will be brought back to your cells.
Back to our cells? What for?
You'll be spending the day there if that's all right with you.
If you hadn't broken the equipment in the laundry, you'd be able to work as usual. As it is, you've only got yourselves to blame.
Well, that depends entirely on your point of view. Now, I don't think any of the girls will mind today doing nothing, will we, girls?
No.
Come on, move it, now.
Well, looks like we've got quite an escort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say they were frightened of being alone with us.
Don't be ridiculous, Brian.
Oh, I don't think it's ridiculous. I think you think there's safety in numbers, but you can't keep us locked in our cells forever. And just remember, there's always going to be more of us than there are of you.
Hello, Chrissy. How are things? Oh, you know, coming.
Ah, I see you're job hunting.
Yeah. And by the time I've crossed out all the ones I'm not qualified for, there's nothing left. So, I just sit here. No job, no man, no money, and hardly a chance of getting Elizabeth back.
Now, that's not true, Chrissy. All it takes is proving that you're a capable mother. Now, if you'd been charged with being with Mick, it would have been impossible. You're really a very lucky lady.
Oh, yeah, I'm the luckiest girl I know.
I've made an appointment for a hearing with the child welfare people.
When?
In 2 days' time, we'll present our case then.
2 days.
Well, I'm sure there'll be no doubt in their minds that you love Elizabeth and want to keep her. But what we must prove is suitable accommodation and means of support.
Oh, well, that's great, that is, isn't it? I've got no job. Most of Mick's savings went on doing this place up. And I've got no money of my own, have I? So I can't keep this place on. Oh, God, what am I going to do? They won't give me custody, I know it.
Look, you'll be on unemployment benefits until you get custody, and then you'll qualify for the single mother's pension.
Oh, yeah, and you know how much that is?
Yes, I agree. It's not a fortune.
Not a fortune. It's not enough to live on. I won't be able to stay here. I've got to get myself a job. I've got to get some money. That's the only thing that's going to let me keep Elizabeth. Money. Excuse me, are you the manager?
Yeah, what can I do for you?
Well, I've come about that job that was advertised in the paper this morning.
Fine. Have a seat.
Thanks.
I hope you've had some experience waitressing. Quite frankly, I'm not interested in breaking in anyone who isn't used to the job.
Well, yes, I have. I've worked in quite a few places, actually.
Oh, that's all right then. Where did you work?
I worked at the Bell and Anchor. I was there for about a year. Then I went to the Black Swan. And then I did about 6 months at McCourty's seafood restaurant.
I've been around here for quite a while. I've never heard of these.
Oh, sorry, I meant to say they're in New Zealand, see?
You have references, of course.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, that is, I did have, but I'm afraid they've all got lost in my moving. I've lost quite a lot of stuff, actually.
What are you wasting my time for? I've heard all this before. You think I won't check on you because it means long-distance phone calls. Well, you're right. I wouldn't even waste my time.
Look, I'm sorry, but I really need a job.
Oh, I know. You want the job. So does everybody else. Look, I just haven't got time to be breaking in an inexperienced girl.
But I have had experience in restaurants, honestly.
Oh, yeah, sure. Look, things are going to get pretty busy around here shortly. Look, I've got things to do.
Thanks for nothing.
Oh, so you're back. I almost started talking to myself.
Oh, there are a lot of brekkies to serve.
You mean you've been handing out breakfast all this time?
Yeah, I just finished. Why?
Because the morning's half over, that's why. God, they get you up at the crack of dawn and make you wait to go to the showers. And then they make you wait until almost lunchtime before they serve you breakfast. It's bloody ridiculous.
What's the difference? Nobody's going anywhere anyway.
Will you snap out of it, Lizzie? Things are bad enough in here as it is. We've got to do something about it. And that means everyone, including you.
You don't need me.
We need everyone.
Look, Bea, I'm not trying to talk you out of anything, but I don't want to get involved. I'm too old, and all I need is just a bit of peace.
Yeah, well, something's going to happen, all right. There's no way of avoiding that now. Things have gone too far.
Yeah, well, it's going to happen without me.
Oh. When are they going to let us out of here? I'm going nuts shut up in this place.
Oh, take it easy, Jude. It can't go on forever.
Yeah, feels as though it already has.
Look, why don't you just go and sit down and try and forget about it, because that pacing up and down is getting on my nerves.
I'm sorry, honey.
It's just I hate the feeling of being locked up, you know.
Well, it's a great thing to worry about when you're in here.
You know what? I reckon we shouldn't have made that mess in the laundry. I mean, at least if we hadn't, they would have let us out to do some work.
We had to do it because we had to show them that we wouldn't let them push us around. I mean, this place is getting more like a concentration camp than a prison.
Yeah, it certainly is. Oh, I feel trapped now.
Look, Bea is going to find us a way through all this. She's doing all the right things.
Of course she is. I know, we've got to show them they can't treat us like this.
Come in.
Excuse me, you, Mrs. Morris?
Yes, yes. What can I do for you?
You, Chrissy Latham's parole officer, aren't you?
I don't think we've met, have we?
No, sorry. Well, I'm Chrissy's brother, Derek.
Oh, how do you do? Well, I knew Chrissy had a brother, but...
Yeah, I know. She's going to be more surprised than you are. We haven't seen each other for 10 years.
Oh, sit down. Derek?
Yeah, thanks. You can call me Del.
Well, what can I do for you?
I want to help Chrissy if I can.
Oh?
Look, Mrs. Morris, when Chrissy and I were kids, I let her down pretty badly. And when she left home, she didn't want anything to do with me. I don't blame her, really. Oh, we lost touch with each other, and, well, the other day I saw an article in a paper about her and this Mick O'Brien character, so, well, here I am. The paper said something about a baby as well, is that right?
Yes, she's applying for custody as a single parent.
Well, how's she going to look after the baby on her own?
Well, it won't be easy, and of course money will be the main problem. If she gets custody, she'll get a single parent's pension. That won't go very far, and she'll have to give up her flat.
Right, well, look, that's where I thought I could help her. You see, the wife and I, we've got a spare room at home. We'd be happy to have Chrissy and the baby come and stay with us.
Well, that'd be an enormous help. And it'd carry a lot of weight at the custody hearing, too.
Oh, great. Can you give me her address? I'd like to go and see her and talk to her about it.
No, I'm sorry. I'll have to speak to Chrissy first and see how she feels.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, can you give me the name of the baby home? I'd really like to see my niece.
As I said, I'll speak to Chrissy and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Oh. Well, after all this time, one day longer can't make much difference.
I have an idea which might help to clear up the situation with the inmates. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. How do you feel about an open discussion between the staff and the prisoners?
Oh, Mrs. Davidson, no.
Would you please hear me out? A round-table discussion would help to clarify the problems on both sides, and we may be able to find a solution to the situation.
I'm sorry, I think that's a very dangerous suggestion.
I think the whole idea is ridiculous. I'm not in favour of giving them the chance to tell us how to run the prison.
I certainly wasn't suggesting that.
Mrs. Davidson, I must look after the safety of the union members. Now, if you're going to insist on such a meeting, then the officers will have to be armed in case of trouble.
Armed? How can we possibly hope to have a peaceful meeting if they see us all armed?
I'm sorry, but it's the only way I'm going to allow any union member to attend such a meeting.
Well, perhaps if the armed officers kept a good distance from the women, that mightn't harm the talks too much.
It's the only way, I'm afraid.
Very well, if that is the only way. Thank you for your cooperation.
This is bloody ridiculous.
Smith, you've caused enough trouble as it is.
Oh, belt up, Vera.
All right, let us all settle down. I've asked for this meeting so that...
Are you going to tell them to put down their weapons?
That's right, because it's hardly a vote of confidence, is it?
Confidence? You're lucky this meeting was agreed to in the first place.
We didn't ask for it. It was your idea.
Well, those guns are only going to cause trouble, Bea. Can't you call the whole thing off?
Why should we fight over our rights? If we've gone this far, we may as well keep it up.
Please, let us have some sort of order. We're not getting anywhere like this. Can I have your assurance there will be no trouble? If I can, then we may be able to do without these weapons.
Well, we'd like the same sort of assurance. You tell them to put down their hardware, and then we'll promise no trouble.
Yes. Unfair.
Oh, forget it. It's pointless.
I would like to hear your complaints. I want to see if there is anything I can do about them. Smith, can you speak for the women?
What do you think? OK. First of all, we are sick and tired of not knowing where we stand. One minute you are letting up on security and handing out all kinds of privileges. And the next... Well, where would you like me to start?
Yeah, then all of a sudden we've got no privacy at all.
And no more classes.
And you're always checking our cells every minute of the day and searching them.
And you talk to us as though we're scum.
All right. I said that's enough.
Yuck. Hold it. All we are trying to do is get up and leave and just have a look at them. You call this a peaceful meeting?
Please, everyone, just calm down. Sit down. This isn't getting us anywhere. Don't any of you understand? This is only making matters worse. We are all in a vicious circle. If we could just discuss things calmly, we may be able to find a way out of it.
Well, you know what our demands are, Mrs. Davidson, and they're not going to change. I don't see any point to further discussion.
Well, certainly not in this atmosphere. This meeting is over.
I'd like to request an exercise period. We have been locked in our cells most of the morning.
Very well. But it will be with an armed escort.
Excuse me.
Yes?
My name's Chrissy Latham, and I know I can't take my little girl out today, but I was wondering if I could just see her for a little while.
Oh, I think that should be possible. She's a very popular little lady today. She has another visitor with her right now. Come with me.
Chrissy? Well, I saw the article in the paper about your boyfriend, so I contacted Mrs. Morris.
Oh, that's bloody brilliant, that is.
Hey, look, don't blame her. I mean, she wouldn't tell me where you or the baby were. I had to ring up every home in the phone book till I found the right one. Now I found you as well.
And now you can just lose us again, can't you?
Look, I know how you feel, but I want to help, right? I mean, there are things that I can do which will make it all easier for you.
Yeah, leave.
Mrs. Morris reckons I can help you get custody of Elizabeth. Look, I'm married, right? Well, you can move in with us. My wife agrees to it. There's plenty of room. You haven't got a better chance of getting custody of Elizabeth other than this.
Yeah. But why now, Derek? I mean, you haven't given a damn about me for years, have you?
Look, I was too scared to stand up for you, all right? I mean, incest is a pretty big charge. I was scared of what Dad'd do to me if I testified.
Feeling guilty, are you? Is that why you've
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's part of it. But look, I also think this is the right thing to do. And Brenda, my wife, agrees. Look, we'll be more than willing to have you stay with us.
Yeah, well, I'll just have to think about it, won't I?
Yeah, of course you will. You know, Dad's... Well, he's paying for his mistakes, you know.
Dad?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's dying, isn't he? All the years on the booze have finally caught up with him. He's so difficult to live with, I tell you. I don't know how Brenda puts up with him.
You mean you've got him there living with you? And you want me under the same roof?
Yeah, all right. I mean, look, things are different. He's old and sick now. I mean, it's all changed.
He's a bloody animal. I don't want nothing to do with him.
Hey, look, just steady on,
And you can just clear
Chrissy.
off too, because I want nothing to do with you either.
Hey, look, hang on, Chris.
We're going to have to do something. I'm going out of my mind with things like they are.
Just take it easy. They can't keep it up forever.
Yeah, well, if they keep locking us in our cells all day long, I don't think I'm going to be able to take it.
Listen, hang on, Jude. If you break now, you're going to give the screws another victory.
Jeez, if you're seeing all the guns, it'd give you the creeps.
Yeah. All right. You know the rules. No more than 2 of you together at a time.
Whatever you say, Vera. I'd hate to scare you.
Just do as you're told, Smith.
It's getting real bad round here, Jude.
Well, if Bee's going to do something, she better do it fast.
Oh, it's getting on everybody's nerves.
All right, ladies, start moving back inside. Not much of an exercise period.
Come on, Bee.
No trouble, Smith, if you know what's good for you.
Oh, come on, Bee. Just let's go inside. We've had enough time.
I said, move along, Brian.
Brian, drop it, I said, drop it!
Drop it, Judy, for God's sake. Don't give them an excuse.
That's enough, Bryant. You're going straight to solitary.
What? Look, haven't we had enough trouble? It was just a misunderstanding. It's finished. Why don't you just leave her alone?
She attacked an officer.
Well, that's not the way I see it. She was trying to help Lizzie when she was being prodded in the back of one of those blasted things. She was only trying to protect herself. Anyone would have done that. Right, girls?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, ladies, that's enough. Now back to yourselves, all of you. You too, Brian, come on.
Oh, it's going to be okay, Lizzie?
I'm sorry, I just got a bit dizzy. I didn't mean to cause any trouble.
It wasn't you who caused the trouble.
Oh, I did.
Come on. It's going to be all right.
Why didn't you charge her with assault?
Because I'm not sure that's what it was.
Okay, that's it. I'm not taking any more chances on union members being hurt. Mrs. Davidson's just run out of time.
Oh, how long will she be in hospital? I see. Thank you. Joyce Barry will be back in a couple of days. She has a dislocated shoulder and is having it reset.
I wanted to see you about that. I'm not at all happy about Jim Fletcher's decision not to put Bryant on a charge. Barry could have been seriously hurt. As it is, a dislocated shoulder's no small thing.
I realize that, and I regret the incident. However, I must uphold Mr. Fletcher's decision. As it was reported to me, the incident was provoked by Bryant being jabbed by a baton.
But surely that's not reason enough for attacking an officer.
The decision stands. Any further action would only aggravate the situation. Which reminds me, I want all firearms locked away as of now.
I see. We held a meeting at lunchtime. We've decided to hold a strike, beginning at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Well, surely there must be another solution.
Look, Mrs. Davidson, we are not trying to make trouble. But arming the officers simply is not enough. There are not enough of us to maintain a strict watch on the women around the clock.
I really do not think that is necessary. Things will settle down.
I'm afraid we can't take a chance on that. Obviously, the women aren't going to be punished for violent behaviour, and we're not willing to take any more risks. We need more staff, so we intend to stay out until the department does something about it.
I just think the decision's a bit extreme, that's all.
I didn't hear you come up with any brilliant ideas. And how are we possibly meant to do our jobs properly when we're so understaffed?
I just wish there was another way.
Well, there isn't. We're not equipped to handle violence until we get more staff.
We've managed so far.
Badly, in my opinion. And look what happened with Bryant. Surely that must prove how dangerous it can be.
Yeah, I agree with you. The situation's dangerous. I just hope the department comes to a decision quickly. I don't like the idea of this strike at all.
It's the only way. This might force them to do something about it.
Doesn't it worry you that we're the skeleton staff here? As long as this strike's on, we're practically on our own in here.
If they're locked up, they won't cause us any more trouble.
Oh, terrific. They've thrown away the keys.
Who cares?
Well, I do. Most of us do. I'll have to think about this.
Yeah, what's your problem then?
I'm sure you can work it out.
Oh, you think so, do you?
Come on, love, don't be unfriendly.
Look, I'm sorry, mate. I think you've got the wrong girl.
I don't think so.
Look, why don't you just leave me alone, all right?
Wouldn't it be nicer if we were alone, together?
You get your filthy hands off me.
Come on, pal, leave the girl alone. Sorry.
What'll it be, love?
Brandy and Coke, thanks. It's a nice place you got here.
Yeah, it's all right, I guess.
I don't suppose you've got any jobs going, have you? I've worked in a pub before. I'm a pretty good barmaid.
No, I'm sorry, love. Nothing at the moment.
Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've been looking around all day, I have. There's just nothing around.
Yeah, that's rough. I'm sorry. It's $1.10. Thanks, love.
Come on, Smith.
Where?
It's dinner time. Didn't you hear the bell?
I heard it, but I assumed we'd be eating ourselves again. After all, how can you watch all us dangerous crimps when the staff's on strike?
Where'd you hear that?
There's not much goes on here that I don't know about. And how I know is none of your business.
Busy?
I don't know nothing about nothing.
So is it true?
Like you said, Smith, none of your business.
Coming, Lizzie?
I'm not hungry.
I hope you all enjoy eating in the dining room tonight. It'll be the last time for quite a while.
After tea, we're not leaving the dining room. That way they can't lock us back in our cells. Pass the message on.
What are you up to, Smith?
Who? Me, Miss Bennett? Nothing. Trouble.
All right, ladies, you heard the bell.
Yeah, we heard it. But we're not going back to our cells. The way things are around here, we've got no guarantee when we might be let out again. And some of us don't like that. And so we're looking after it our own way.
What do we do now?
If we still had the rifles, we could fire a few shots. That would help them make up their minds.
If I were you, I wouldn't talk like that, Vera, not unless you want real trouble.
I'd better see Mrs. Davidson. Lock them in here. Keep an eye on them from the corridor.
What do we do now, V?
Nothing. It's their problem.
Well, at least we're not locked in our cells for the night.
Yeah, but we're still locked in.
What do you think they'll do?
Probably lock us in here for the night, the same as it did last time. At least we're not in our cells. Doesn't worry me. And we're giving them a headache. And that'll suit me just fine.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Davidson. I didn't realise you had anybody with you.
Yes, Mr. Fletcher, what is it?
There's a bit of trouble in the dining room, I'm afraid. The women are refusing to go back to their cells.
Here we go again, Erica. Now, I tell you, it is not good enough.
It's nothing serious, Mr. Douglas. We've handled situations like this before.
Oh, yes, far too many of them, if you ask me, and none of them have been handled properly.
All prisons have trouble from time to time.
I'm not talking about time to time, Erica. It's all the time. And the minister isn't happy. I'm sorry, but I've no option but to follow my orders. You're relieved of duty as of now. Mr. Fletcher, you're to take over as acting governor immediately, pending official promotion. I'm sorry.
Well, well, look who's here.
All right, settle down. Mr. Douglas wants a word with you.
I can't wait.
Now, don't tell me. You're going to ask us all to go back to our cells like good little girls, right?
Well, that'll be a good start. The department has very little time for this sort of behaviour.
Oh, I wonder why that means so little to me.
Now, Hazel, that's not nice. Maybe we should do what the department asks us after all. Look at all it's done for us.
Oh, V, you're making me feel real bad because I'm so ungrateful.
All right, that's enough. Now, this has gone far beyond a joke.
Yeah, we don't think you're very funny either.
You people astound me. Now, the department has bent over backwards to give you extra privileges.
Extra privileges like spot chicks any hour of the day or night. Oh, we really think that's a privilege, don't we, girls?
All right, that's enough.
Ooh! All right, quiet down, girls. The reinforcements have arrived. What's the matter, Mrs. Powell? Couldn't you handle the situation on your own?
I'll give you one last chance to go back to your cells.
No way. We've been locked in there long enough. We may as well stay here because we've got nothing to lose anyway. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Fletcher. Escort them back to their cells. If they won't go, carry them.
Oh!
Right, get them out of here. Right, get them out of here.
Oh,
Yeah, well, who knows? I might see you again at that pub, eh?
You wouldn't be trying to get rid of me, would you?
No, of course not. Working girl's got to keep her hours, hasn't she? Besides, you've tired me out.
I've never had any complaints. Listen, if you're interested, I've got a mate. Pays very well for services rendered.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I'll send him around later, OK?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Oh, don't expect anything great. Can't be lucky all the time. See ya.
Lucky.
Well, of course, I understand your problems. But if it's at all possible, the department would like to avoid the strike.
We do appreciate that, Mr. Douglas, but it's impossible unless our demands are met.
That's right. We all agreed. Trying to be lenient with these animals was a bad idea. I've said so since the beginning, but Mrs. Davidson was adamant.
Well, I'm afraid the department isn't in full agreement with you.
But you said...
No, I'm sorry, Miss Bennett. Perhaps I didn't make myself clear. If Mrs. Davidson's plans had worked, I believe it would have been for the good of the prison.
Look at the trouble they've caused.
Well, of course, but that's not because of the schemes, but because of the prisoner's blatant abuse of the department's good intentions. Well, anyway, as you know, the schemes have now been cancelled.
Do we get our extra staff?
Well, I'm afraid I can't guarantee that immediately.
Well, then I'm
Now, wait a
sorry,
minute. Hear me out. I have an interim proposition. Now, if I get some officers from Pentridge to stay here temporarily, and then do my utmost to add to the permanent staff as soon as I can, would that be satisfactory?
Perfectly. Look, we're only striking for the good of the members. The extra staff will lighten the workload, and it will give us the extra protection we need in the meantime.
Good. Now, as to the attitude of the women, there's usually a top dog who more or less controls them. Perhaps we could control her.
Yes, well, I might have a suggestion that'll solve that little problem.
Good, let's hear it.
Oh, Mrs. Morris,
Oh,
come
Chrissy.
in. Coffee?
Oh, no, thanks. Look, I can't stay for long. I've been trying to phone you all day.
Oh, yeah, well, I've been out job hunting.
Oh, any luck?
No. I can't even get a job as a waitress without a reference. And I don't think Wentworth's a very good recommendation, do you?
Oh, well, never mind. You haven't been out for long. Still, something will turn up.
Yeah.
Well, I've got some good news for you that might cheer you up. I've heard from your brother Derek. He and his wife want you and Elizabeth to go and live with them.
I know. I saw him this afternoon. He was at the home when I popped in to see Elizabeth.
Well, he must really care about you. It must have taken him quite some time to find the right place. I mean, I wasn't going to give him any information without talking to you first.
Well, he can just forget it, can't he? Because there's no way I'm going to live with him.
Why not, Chrissy? Would look very good to the board. He really does seem to care about you.
Oh, well, good for him. Look, Mrs. Morris, he had plenty of time to be concerned about me in the past when we were living at home. I told you about my father, didn't I? When I got old enough to let someone listen to me, I went to the cops. I told them what he did. He could have been stopped. All I needed was someone to back me up. But oh no.
You mean Derek?
Yeah, my loving brother.
That was years ago, Chrissy. Isn't it time to let the past die?
You think I can ever forget that? Derek, he wants to pretend that it never happened. Just to put his own mind at rest. You want to know who he's got living there? My drunken slob of a father. And Derek wants me to go and live there with him? Oh, yeah, let the past die, all right. The only thing I want to see die is my old man. Oh, I'll get by. I always have done. Things will be all right.
Well, it's your decision. I know you need money pretty badly, Chrissy. don't let it force you back into prostitution again.
No, Mrs. Morris, I've told you I'm going to get a straight job.
Good. Because if you do go back on the job, you'll lose every chance you ever had of getting custody. To say nothing of your parole.
I know.
Bye.
Ta-da.
All right, Smith, up. Move! What? You've been causing a bit too much trouble. We're sending you on a nice holiday to the country, to Barnhurst.
What the hell, B? Oh, B! B!
Lizzie, what's wrong?
B!
Lizzie, are you all right?
It's not me, Jude. It's B.
What's the matter with her?
They bloody well Shanghai her. She's gone, Jude. Please.
Hey, Lizzie! The word's out now. We've all decided we're not coming out till B's back. Can you manage to drag some stuff in front of your cell door?
Lizzie? Lizzie, we know you can hear us. We've all barricaded ourselves in. Now, are you going to stick with us or not?
What difference does it make? I knew something bad was going to happen. I tried to tell her, but she wouldn't listen. And now they've gone and taken away my best mate.
All right, Birdsworth, get to the showers. Bryant!
Can't get the door open.
You in there! What do you think you're doing?
Oh, you're getting big butch vinegar tits to help you, are you, pal?
You watch your language, Burns, or you'll be in more trouble.
Well, you'd have to get to me first, Miss Bennett, and I think you might have a little trouble doing that.
Oh, Dor, please don't cause any more trouble, love.
What are you up to, Burns?
Well, we've just fixed it so you can't get at us, that's all.
That's right. We're not coming out till B's back.
Don't be ridiculous, Brian.
There's nothing ridiculous about it. We've barricaded ourselves in here, and we're not coming out again until we can hear B's voice.
Yeah, and they're not the only ones. I think you'll have a little trouble with all the cells. Maybe this will teach you that you can't just go dragging one of us off in the middle of the night.
Who's that?
Kent. Looks like she's in on it, too.
Yeah, we're all in on it. We just show you can't push us around. And you get B back.
Go on. Well, we'll see about that. I'm going to report this to the governor immediately.
Oh, the governor? Gee, I'm scared.
Yeah, you do that. You get the governor. It's about time Mrs. Davidson listened to reason.
Morning, Derek. Sorry to keep you waiting.
That's right. There's plenty to read.
Right, come on in. I'll get us a cup of coffee. Actually, you look as though you could do with one.
Yeah, I certainly could.
Is there anything wrong?
Oh, my father. Had to take him to hospital in the middle of the night. I think he's dying.
I am sorry.
It's all right. Don't waste your sympathy. I don't want to sound hard, but I haven't felt anything for him for years.
But he's been living with you, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, he had no one else. I couldn't exactly throw him out in the street, could I?
Has he been sick long?
You could put it that way. He'd have been all right if he stayed off the grog. As it is, I suppose he's just been killing himself, hasn't he? Anyway, look, I thought Chrissy should know, and I want to tell her myself, if that's all right.
Well, I don't think she'll see him, even though he is dying. I told her about your offer yesterday. She still seems very bitter.
Oh, no, look, I didn't mean that. You didn't understand. What I meant was that, well, now with the old man out of the way, I don't see any reason why Chrissy should turn down the chance of coming to live with us. I wanted to tell her straight away because, well, I mean, the case is soon, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is. And I must say I was a bit worried about her yesterday. Oh, it's probably nothing, but she seemed very depressed about her chances of getting a job.
Hey, you don't think she'll go back on the game again, do you?
Well, if she does and I find out about it, I'll have to report it, and she'll lose all chances of getting her custody.
I mean, that baby means everything to Chrissy.
Yes, I don't know what she'd do if she lost her daughter. Look, Derek, do you mind if we don't have coffee? I think I ought to go over there straight away. I think she'll need to think about things before the hearing.
Come on, Brian, cut that nonsense out and come out of there.
No way, Fletch. We're not coming out until we've talked to the governor.
Then you'll talk to me. I'm the governor now.
Stop mucking around, Fletch. We want to talk to Davo.
Mrs. Davidson's been relieved of her duties, Burns. Mr. Fletcher is the new governor. So don't think that you can get away with this nonsense.
Geez, Davo's gone. She was real good to us, Jude. Do you think they're telling the truth?
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, with Fletch the lech in charge, we've really had it now. What do you think we should do?
Well, I got an idea. We might be able to clear this up.
Fletch, we want Bea back. And Mrs. Davidson, too.
Smith has been removed for the good of the prison. As far as Mrs. Davidson's concerned, well, that wasn't my decision. There's nothing I can do about it.
You better think of something.
This isn't getting you anywhere, Brian.
We're barricaded in here. You can't get in and we're not coming out. And we're on a hunger strike. And we'll stay on it until we see Bea and Mrs. Davidson. So you better do something about it quick, Fletch. Because a hunger strike ain't gonna look too good to the department.
Good on you, Jude.
Here.
Huh? Come on, you've got to go.
Yeah.
And you can stop that.
That's not what you said last night.
Yeah, well, that was last night, weren't it? I've got things to do, all right?
Good. I can think of one thing you could do.
Look, you can cut the comedy act, OK? You got what you paid for and now it's finished.
Well, there's more money where that came from, you know. And I'm not a bit tired.
Look, I've told you once I've got things to do today, all right?
Oh, yeah? Like taking the kids to school, I suppose.
And what's that supposed to mean? What makes you think I haven't got kids, eh?
Oh, sure you have. I'll bet you'd make a real good mother.
Yeah. Well, I have got a kid, see. She's beautiful.
Well, kids are expensive to raise. So, how about making something on the side? A little extra.
Yeah, OK. Why not? It'll cost you, though.
I know.
More than last time.
Geez, what is this? Day rates or something?
Oh, well, if you're not interested.
OK. You name it.
All right. Got to have a shower first, though.
Where's your kid?
Oh, she's with friends at the moment. She'll be home soon, though.
Hey! Just a minute. Hey, you in the shower yet?
No, why?
Someone at the door.
Oh, my God, it's my parole officer.
Parole officer? Jeez, a pro is just out of the jug. This is my lucky day.
Here, look, if you go in the bathroom, I'll get rid of her.
Oh, no. No way. You're not worth this much trouble. I'm getting out.
Oh, please, you've got to help me. If she sees you here...
It's too late. She already knows I'm here. I just told her to wait a minute. Some mother you, mate. Some people, when they have kids.
You can shut up.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone.